it is going to be the Angelite or the Angelite. So I picked that specifically because it's about grief, and it has helped me in so many ways. So it enhances communication with the spirit guides. It deepens your connection to your divine, your higher purpose. And sometimes I call them the big dudes, the big doodlets. You know what? Whatever you call your guides, your God, your universe, higher self, go ahead. And you know what? The peace and serenity, the growth, the spiritual growth, the calming, the compassion, the hope, that is all in this crystal. And have you ever felt like you're in this fog? Don't you feel foggy right now? Like you're really having a hard time getting the information from your spirit, from God, from those, and it's kind of like in this fogginess. This is why this crystal will help you to assist in that, to receiving those intuitive messages. And also, you know, you can, the more that you practice like tennis, you get better with being with the crystals. So practice with these crystals, staying time with them. And also this one is a great one for your respiratory. Now, I was diagnosed with asthma years ago, and I was on inhalers, and recognized using the crystals, and also emotionally was in a really bad relationship, and emotionally was shutting me down, and I couldn't even breathe life. But using this crystal will help to remind you of this. So, and you know, it also helps you in sleeping. It's also a really good one for grief. And that's if you're grieving right now, and it doesn't matter if it's from my dog from 4 months ago, from my daddy-o, which today is his birthday. I just recognized that. Would have been his birthday. And he left 6 years. So it doesn't matter. This crystal can help. And I might even be crying a little later with Julie. She might make me cry a little bit, but you know, I get that. So you know what? This crystal is so powerful because it's a self-expression, and it opens up your throat and your chakra for it to be clarity. And remember, if you want to know more about crystals and really dive into them, give me a yell, because on the spiritual guidance collection, that collection of that 18 different sessions that I teach, one of them right there is about the crystals. So we'll check that out, and you can see how you can step more into understanding that. And, you know, jumping back and connecting to the story about grief, I believe that I'm still in grief. And many of you will see dates, and it'll take you to that grief. And that's okay. One of the things that I do is to stay in the grief. This morning, I did. I stayed in the grief, and I cried, and I wrote a letter to my daddy-o to say, I love you. And in that letter, shine came out, and that's okay. Because it's not necessarily always a person or an animal. It can be a job. It can be society. It can be what's going on in the world. It can be a job that you really wanted and you didn't get. Many different things in a relationship also that can end. So you never know what that looks like or how that looks like, but the Angelite crystal can help.